Willie D Live.
What's up, family? You know what I realized? Some people are more offended by a family, a grieving family, asking for help than they are about a grieving family's son being murdered. Or, as some of y'all like to put it, dying. Nolan Wells' mother is now responding to questions, accusations about her family exploiting their deceased son by begging for money. Before you start judging this family, I want you to understand this, fam. I want you to think about this. What would you do if a tragedy struck your family overnight and the bills started arriving before the answers did? Or some people are something else for real. Check it out.
I do want to just say, for those of you, again, if you are having protests, even the day of his service, I am asking you guys to just keep it peaceful. Nolan would never want any type of violence or anything like that. He was not that kind of person. So if you guys would, again, just be peaceful. And to the community, thank you so much. Just the outpouring of love, support. We've had some local officials, Mayor Casey Vaughn from Gautier has reached out to us. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. He has, it's almost been every day. He's been texting to check on us. Also, Jeffrey Hullum, thank you so much. He's been texting pretty much every day. Receiving a lot of stories from Nolan's teachers, which just warms my heart, his classmates, teammates. So again, for those of you who have donated to the GoFundMe, once again, I stress, if you are not financially able to, we're not begging for that money, okay? If you're not financially able to, we understand. We thank you for whatever you can give, but if you cannot, if you would, just keep us in your prayers.
And we can stop right there, family. We can stop right there. Let me add, people donate at free will. Nobody, absolutely nobody, is being forced to donate. I think that oftentimes the people who complain the most do the least. Usually when people are complaining about somebody donating this or donating that or whatever, or didn't do this or didn't do enough, they haven't done anything. So before you complain, you absolutely must contribute. That's the way I see it. Funeral costs may be just the beginning. Families may face attorney fees, independent investigator fees, counseling, travel fees. They may face other costs connected to seeking answers. You know, my thing is, if you're not going to donate, if you don't like what they're doing, keep it moving. Like, go find you a cause that you can really get behind. See, the public love to tell the family, get a lawyer, get an independent investigator, go out there and get a second opinion. That stuff costs money. If people believe law enforcement did not do enough, then they cannot complain about the family raising money for resources to get answers. That's ridiculous to me, man. Like, asking for financial help is not proof of greed. The real question is the money being used for what the family say the money is being used for? Now, I got it, because transparency is key in these type of situations. Is the money being used for what the family say it's being used for. If the family say, look, we need X amount of dollars so we can bury our child, and that's all we need. Okay, well, we know to bury somebody ain't gonna cost you 100 racks, right? But if they say, we need this money to not just bury our child, but for unexpected expenses. And also, you got to think about, people have, for these type of things, people take time off work. And counseling is a big thing now, man. Counseling can run through $1 million just like that in a few years. Yeah, this stuff don't end when the loved one is buried. It don't end there. Everybody listen to me. Everybody within the sound of my voice has experienced the tragedy of a loved one dying. How long it took you to get over it? Some of us still haven't gotten over it. So why put that undue pressure on the parents? These are grieving parents. I love what she said. We're not begging for you. You don't want to do it, don't do it. Ain't nobody begging, anybody twisting your arm. My thing is, if you're not going to help, why do you care so much about a grieving family helping and people who have decided to help? Why are you trying to shame people who want to help? Yeah, we got people out there trying to shame people who are trying to help. Y'all some fools, y'all dumb, y'all stupid, she a fool, you, all that kind of stuff. Like, keep it moving. The trip part about it is, I swear to God, this only happens when Black people have a fundraiser. This only happens. You think that all these other people out here aren't raising funds and using the funds at their discretion? You ain't asking about that. Y'all ain't going in on none of them. You know why? Because you think they're better than you. That's why. And you hold your people to an impossible standard, to a standard that nobody is held to. I don't get it. What's the boy name? Kyle Rittenhouse. George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman, we know he murdered Trayvon Martin. We know he flat out murdered Trayvon. Nobody was talking about how he was spending the money. He raised a bunch of money and nobody talked about how he was spending the money. Not the people who was opposed to him, and certainly not the people who supported him. They didn't give a damn. They wanted to give him some relief. Some of them wanted to reward him for killing Trayvon. They never questioned how he was using the funds. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be forthcoming about how they're going to use the funds. But if they are not forthcoming, you can simply choose not to donate. And if others simply choose to donate, why are you so concerned? That's the part I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure that out. I think that's very important. Social media has created a culture of strangers analyzing how grieving people should respond to loss. They did the same thing to Carmelo Anthony, talking about that man family went out and bought a $900,000 house inside of a gated community and a brand new Escalade. All lies, debunked. All lies. Yeah. That's madness, man. Let me show you a picture right quick. You see this woman right here? This woman right here has a reputation for not giving Black people justice. She's the DA in Jackson County, the county that is overseeing the Nolan Wells investigation. That woman has a history of circumventing justice in regards to Black people. Yeah. And so I don't think you really understand what you do when you have the family up against a formidable opponent like this, and members of law enforcement and the judicial system, government agencies. That's what they're up against already. And then you run out there and post something negative about the family. And then you got people that are quick to believe the negative stuff before they would give the family the benefit of doubt. This is a family that has been wronged. And most of you agree that they probably have been wronged. In fact, many people who are complaining say that they believe something nefarious happened. But yet, they will go online and try to do their best to eviscerate the family. Listen, you do not have to donate. You don't have to donate. You don't have to agree with everything that the family does. You don't have to agree with everything they say. But to go out of your way to say disparaging things about a grieving family, that ain't cool. Because this family is going through something that most people commenting online can't even imagine. God forbid something like that happens to you. You don't have to donate. Compassion is free. So at the very least, if you're not going to support the family, do not add to their grief. No more talk.